These are some of the easiest dinners that you can make. They are also on the affordable side, absolutely delicious. Everybody you serve them to will love them. Let's get to cooking. I'm still dreaming about this dinner. To kick us off today, we are making this creamy tomato sausage pasta. To a pan on the stove, add in 1 pound of Italian sausage. Just break it up and cook it through. My favorite Italian sausage is like the sweet Italian sausage. It just has a good flavor. But to this pot of boiling water, add in 3/4 pound of elbow pasta. Just cook the pasta through at this point. But now that my sausage is completely cooked through, over to the sausage, add in 3 ounces of cream cheese. Then add in 14 ounces of petite diced tomatoes. I like the petite ones just because they're so small. They just go so well with this dinner. Then 16 ounces of heavy cream. Give this a stir. You want that cream cheese to melt down and you want to bring this up to a simmer. Then add in your 2 cups of baby spinach, 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. Let this simmer for a few more minutes. And then once your elbows are cooked through, you're going to add this creamy sauce mixture right into your elbow pasta. Give it a stir. Let it simmer for a couple more minutes just to thicken that sauce up. Then you could serve this quick and easy dinner up. This is one of my favorite lazy night dinners just because you throw the ingredients just into like a pan on the stove. Everything cooks up beautifully and then the sauce is like rich and delicious. My whole family loves it and I like using the little elbow pasta just because you get a bite of the pasta, sausage, tomato, spinach. It's good. The other day I was craving sausage and like veggies and gravy, so now we're making sausage, veggies, and gravy. To a large baking dish, just add about a tablespoon of olive oil, then add in 1 diced yellow onion along with little golden potatoes. I cut my potatoes, just like slice them in half, but you could dice them or do whatever you'd like. Next I'm adding in 2 cups of sliced carrots. I just used the baby carrots. Then I'm adding in 6 chicken and apple sausages. I really like these like chicken and apple sausages. I find that they have good flavor, but you could use any type of sausage that you'd like. Then I just added in about half a teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of olive oil. Now I have about 1.5 cups of water right here. I'm adding in 1 packet of au jus. This will just give it so much flavor. You could also use like brown gravy if you don't have au jus on hand. Just give this a little whisk and then you're going to pour it over the top of the sausage and the veggies. Then you want to cover this with foil. This will bake in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 45 minutes. We were having quite a bit of rain the other day, like mixed with hail and snow, so I made this. It was just like a cold day. This was perfect to warm up to on a very chilly, rainy, cold, like snowy day. Anyway, once this is out of the oven, serve it up. It is absolutely delicious. That like gravy mixture is so good with the veggies. Everything has so much flavor. Like I said, this is just a warm, comforting, cozy, easy dinner. Now we're getting started on this Veggie Lo Mein. So to get it started, to a large pot on the stove, add in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. This is a 1-pot dinner, so it's fabulous. Add in 1 diced yellow onion, 2 large carrots that you shred, 1 chopped red bell pepper or any bell pepper, 1 cup or more of snow peas, a tablespoon of minced garlic and ginger. You could always use other veggies if you'd prefer other veggies for this recipe. I just find these veggies to work so well together, so that's why I use these particular veggies. You could also use frozen veggies if you'd prefer, but after you add in your garlic and ginger, give this a stir until the garlic and ginger are fragrant. Now add in 3 cups of sliced cabbage, along with 1/4 cup of hoisin sauce and 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I used the low sodium soy sauce. Then add in 4 cups of chicken or veggie broth and 13 ounces of lo mein noodles. If you can't find lo mein noodles at your store, I've done this in the past with like spaghetti noodles and it's worked out just fine, but I do like these lo mein noodles if you could find them. Give this a stir, let it simmer for about 10 minutes or until the lo mein is tender, and there you go. You have an easy veggie packed meatless meal. You could always add chicken, steak, or other meat to this if you want to add meat to it, but we topped ours with sesame seeds and green onions. This is a delicious dinner. It's packed full of so many veggies, and the best part is it cooks up in minutes in just 1 pot on the stove, so all you have to do is clean up 1 pot in the end. It's been too long since I made a homemade Cobb salad with homemade ranch, and I just felt like I needed to make it. So to a measuring cup, add in 1 cup of buttermilk. We're making the ranch first. A couple tablespoons of regular milk, 1/2 cup of sour cream, and then about 2 to 3 tablespoons of ranch seasoning. For the ranch seasoning, I actually went to Trader Joe's the other day and I found this Trader Joe's brand of ranch seasoning, and I wanted to try it because I've heard many people say it's super good. I will admit it is very good. It's like a little bit herby, so so I do recommend it. I don't go to Trader Joe's often because it's just not near where I live, but I do recommend that ranch seasoning. Give this a stir, and then I'm adding it into my dressing bottle just like this. I'll set it in the fridge just to chill while I work on the rest of the salad. So into a pan on the stove, I'm going to add my bacon. Homemade bacon is just superior when making homemade salads. So I'll add some strips of bacon to the pan on my stove, and I'll let that brown up. While my bacon is cooking away, I'm going to get started on my chicken. So I have about 5 chicken tenderloins right here. I'm just going to season the chicken on both sides with a little bit of that ranch seasoning and paprika. You could use any type of chicken you'd like. For this recipe, I just did the chicken tenderloins and I removed that tendon in the middle. Anyway, once your bacon is cooked through, just remove the bacon to a plate lined with paper towels just to absorb any excess grease. And then to that same pan, I'm going to cook up the chicken just in the oil that the bacon made, just in that pan. Cook it up for a few minutes on each side until that chicken is completely cooked through. Then let it rest for a couple of minutes, and then you want to chop up that chicken into small pieces, kind of like this. Now to assemble the salad, my favorite part. We're just using romaine lettuce to keep it simple, and then I'm using a little bit of thawed peas. Thawed peas go so well on a salad, at least in my opinion. I'm also adding in tomatoes along with red onion, and then of course that chicken, avocado, bacon, ranch, and cheese. This is a simple salad, but oh boy, it was filling and very comforting. It tasted like you were eating a hug, if that makes sense. Just kind of like a comfort food type of salad. It's just perfect for when the weather gets warmer this summer. I love making salads like this, and I absolutely need to do it more often. This was a total hit. My husband loved it as well. Same with my little ones. My kids had a unassembled salad. So basically everything on a plate, just not in salad form. Now we're making these French dip sliders, and there's a reason why this one is a staple in my house. I have 5 tablespoons of melted butter in this bowl. Add a tablespoon of minced garlic to it and 1 tablespoon of this au jus packet. It's just like the seasoning flavor packet. Just use a tablespoon of that. Tablespoon of sesame seeds and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Mix this mixture together super well. You want that seasoning mixture, butter, you want everything to be mixed super duper well so it basically looks like one thing like this. Anyway, grab your Hawaiian rolls, slice your Hawaiian rolls in half just like this. To the bottom of the Hawaiian rolls, add slices of provolone cheese. Over the top of the provolone cheese, you're going to add your deli roast beef. I like to add around a pound of that deli roast beef just over the top. This dinner is so perfect for this time of year. Then you're going to brush half of the butter mixture we just made up over the top of the meat. Just half of that, like I said. This is what gives this recipe a French onion feel. So now sprinkle 1 cup of crispy French fried onions over the top. Top it with more provolone cheese and then put the top of the rolls over the top. Brush the remaining butter over the top of the rolls, and then this will bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. You want the cheese to get melty and the top of the rolls to get crispy, but while this is baking away in the oven, to this pot on the stove I'm adding in the remaining packet of au jus, then add in a cup and a half of water. You're going to bring this up to a simmer, whisk it well, and you want this to thicken up. This will be a great dip for the sandwiches. This recipe is also in my new cookbook. It's on page 244. It's in my Make It Simple cookbook, and it is in the slides section. I have over 150 recipes in this book. Every single recipe has a colored photo. They're easy, realistic recipes that we love in my house. But once this has thickened up just like this, it's time to serve up your dinner. Here's what the sliders look like out of the oven. Oh boy, just so good. I always serve this with a little ramekin on the side with that au jus just to dip these sliders in, and I normally serve this with a little bit of carrots and ranch just for an easy veggie on the side. This is a winner dinner. Now we're getting started on these rice bean burritos. To a pot on the stove, add in a bag of quick cooking Spanish style rice. I'm using the Great Value bag. All you have to do is add water to it and let it simmer for a few minutes. It is very easy and quick. While my rice is simmering away, I'm going to get started on my refried beans. These are my favorite refried beans ever. I had these when I was younger. I grew up in New Mexico, and these were the refried beans when we'd find them at the store that we would use, and they are so good. You just add the beans to a pot with about 2 cups of water. Their bag says 2 to 2.5 cups of water, but I always go on like the 2-cup side, and I find that to be perfect. These are like thinner refried beans. This is the consistency when they're done. So if you want them even thicker than this, so less thin, just add less water, but I don't recommend more than 2 cups of water. But here's what the rice looks like when it is finished cooking. Also, for years I've gotten comments, people asking me to show my face more in my videos and try the food on camera. To be honest, I've been a little too nervous to do that until now. So on Thursdays I'm sharing an extra video each week that is completely different than anything I've ever done, but I'm very thankful for your support and kind comments. To assemble our burritos, just add a little bit of cheese, the rice, the beans, add the burrito to a pan with a little bit of oil. This way it gives the tortilla a lot of added flavor. It kind of tastes like you're getting the burrito from a Mexican restaurant. I just love crisping up the tortillas like this when I'm making super easy recipes like this, but here is what it looks like. So cheesy. Those refried beans are amazing. If you find them at your store, I definitely recommend them. I normally find them at Walmart, so I snatch a couple bags whenever I see them. I don't always see them though. Now we're getting started on this taco mac. So to a pan on the stove, add a pound of ground beef, or really any ground meat that you'd like. Just break up your ground meat and you're going to cook it through. Once it is cooked through, just add in a tablespoon of minced garlic and a tablespoon of butter. Give this a good stir. You basically want that butter melted down at this point, and you want your garlic fragrant. So let it cook for about 30 seconds to a minute. Now add in your 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning along with a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. That will just give it a little extra flavor. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and give this a stir. You want the tomato paste to get incorporated in with the rest of the ingredients. Tomato paste is a little bit stiff, I guess you could say, so just stir it well. Now you're going to add in 1 cup of chicken broth and 1 cup of beef broth, or 2 cups of either or. I just added in 2 cups of chicken broth today. Now add in 1 cup of milk, 10 ounces of rotel, and then a half a pound of small pasta. You could use any small pasta, like small shells. That's what I'm doing today. You could use elbow pasta. Really, any small pasta will work. Give this a stir, and you're going to let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes until that pasta is tender. If you do need to add in more liquid while it is cooking, you certainly can, just depending on your pasta. Now that my pasta is tender, I'm just adding in my cheese. I'll let the cheese melt down, and you could serve this up. Of course, if you're not a cheese fan, you certainly don't have to add in cheese, but I have been on a major cheese kick recently, and I'm sure you could clearly tell. But I just topped mine with some sour cream, a little bit of guacamole. This is phenomenal. Such a fun twist on Taco Tuesday. Just a good weeknight dinner. It's simple, has very affordable ingredients, delicious, and it makes a ton of food. Now we are making this tortellini. This one is amazing, and it's a 1-pot meal, of course. This one is also a meatless meal, so for all my meatless meal friends, to a large pot or a skillet on the stove, add your oil and garlic, let it cook for about a minute or so, then add in 28 ounces of crushed tomatoes, half a cup of heavy cream, give this a little stir. You're going to bring it up to a simmer. Now add in a half a cup of water or vegetable broth, kind of whatever you have on hand. Next, add in a half a cup of dried oregano, and then 1 teaspoon of dried basil, a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and then if you have spinach on hand, add in about 2 cups of fresh spinach. You could use like baby spinach or chop up like regular spinach. Then add in 9 ounces of fresh or frozen cheese tortellini. Fresh or frozen cheese tortellini cooks very quickly, so it works really well in this recipe. Also add in a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Give this a stir, let it simmer for about 8 minutes, and then you could serve this dinner up. I know some of you guys have my new cookbook called Make It Simple. This recipe is in my new cookbook. It is just in the 1-pot section. I have over 150 recipes in this book. Every single recipe has at least 1 photo. They're just like easy, realistic, delicious recipes, but this is one of my all-time favorite meatless meals to throw together. I especially like making this when I'm kind of short on time at dinner time, and I just want to throw things into a pot and not really think about dinner. Now Now we're making this wonderful no peek pork chop casserole. So I have a 9x13 baking dish right here that I sprayed with nonstick spray. I'm adding in 1 can of cream of chicken soup along with a can of cream of mushroom soup. I'm using the cream of mushroom soup with roasted garlic. I just think it adds so much great flavor, and I recommend you doing that, but if you can't find that at your store, normal cream of mushroom soup will work. Next, I added in 2 cups of chicken broth and a cup and a half of uncooked jasmine rice, or you could use white rice if you prefer. Give this a really good whisk to incorporate the ingredients together. Now you're going to want to add in a half a pack of Lipton onion soup mix. Just sprinkle that on top and then stir this again. That's pretty much all the seasonings we're going to add, just that packet of soup mix, just because it really does add a lot of great flavor. Now for the pork chops, I'm using 4 boneless pork chops and just place them right on top of the casserole. Make sure they're not overlapping, and then you're going to want to sprinkle the other half of the Lipton onion soup mix over the top of the pork chops. This gives them wonderful flavor. Cover this with foil and bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 75 minutes, or until the rice is fluffy and the pork chops are tender. Here's my plate of food. This is not your average pork chop dinner. These are not your basic hockey puck dry pork chops. These pork chops are so tender and so delicious. My family absolutely devours this dinner, and that rice is perfectly fluffy. I did serve this alongside of some steamed carrots. Now we're making one of my personal favorites ever. This ham, broccoli, and rice skillet is just a delicious dinner. I have my ham steak right here. It's a 1-pound ham steak. You could always use about a pound of like pre-diced ham. I just love ham steaks, and I find them to be fairly affordable. I just diced my ham steak up into smaller pieces. Into my Dutch oven, I added 1 diced yellow onion along with a tablespoon of olive oil. Just let the onion cook for a few minutes. It basically just needs to like cook down. Then add in a tablespoon of minced garlic along with 3/4 cup of either white or jasmine rice. I am just going to measure out and then add it into my like strainer, and then I am going to rinse it. The reason I am rinsing it is just because it removes any excess surface starch, preventing like gummy or sticky texture and ensuring fluffy separated grains. It also cleans the dust and debris and potentially like anything on the rice. It just helps clean the rice super well. So that's why I'm rinsing it. If you don't have time to rinse your rice, don't bother with it. I do it both ways often, just depending on how the night is going with dinner time. But then I added in a cup and a half of chicken broth, my ham that I diced, 12 ounces of frozen broccoli, a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of oregano, and a teaspoon of paprika. I'm also adding in a half a teaspoon of garlic and onion powder. You could really use any seasonings you like, but I have found that these are very affordable, delicious seasonings that I like in this particular recipe a lot. Also other recipes, but give this a stir, let it simmer covered for about 15 to 20 minutes. If you do notice that it does need a little bit more water or broth, just add in about 1/3 cup more at a time until your rice is to the fluffiness that you like it to be. This is completely optional, but some of you guys know me pretty well, and you probably know that I'm adding in cheese, so I just added in 3/4 cup of shredded Colby Jack cheese. If you're trying to stay away from dairy or you can't have dairy, you could, of course, just skip the cheese, and this will be super delicious as well. I just am a massive cheese fan, but just let the cheese melt down if you're adding the cheese in. Give it a stir, and then you could serve this up. This is rich, delicious, and I need to cook with ham more often. It really is so good. I'd love to have you over here, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one. Bye for now.